Hi Cancer, welcome to your May Looking for Love 2019 love reading. What am I calling it? New Love in May. And that title isn't meant to be clickbaity, just meant to kind of set an intention. Hey, I want to find love, so why not in May? Okay. The heart of the matter is the High Priestess, and this is a card. It's actually for a love reading. This is not like what I would associate, but the High Priestess is about going within and being all spiritual and stuff and all that kind of thing. But now that I think about it, if you've been on some kind of, if you've been having a spiritual awakening, Cancer, with the North Node in your sign, you may feel like certain things are just coming into your life all of a sudden, and some of that may have a spiritual influence, and maybe you have changed your perspective of the kind of person that you're looking for. And so it may make it so that you are less likely to just jump into a relationship altogether, but by the same token, you're like really scrutinizing who is out there in terms of how they will affect your future, because you might feel like, hey, I don't think that, I used to be attracted to this type of person, and I'm just not there anymore. In the past position, we have the Three of Pentacles, and this is a card of perhaps, Three of Pentacles can be a card of co-workers, and if you had some kind of an affair with a coworker, it may have soured you on anything like that in the future, because you may have realized that you jeopardized your job. If it turned out bad, obviously you're single, so it didn't work out, and you might have said, why did I do that? That was crazy. That complicated my life. It didn't make my life better. I feel like that was wrong. Or some kind of like a lover's triangle that may have led you to feel a sense of wanting something more. Also, with the Three of Pentacles, recently you may be really hearing that biological clock ticking, or you want the Three of Pentacles is the card of the architect. So it's the card of building a very secure life for yourself. Well, not secure, but like a good foundation and things like that. And rather than some of the relationships that exist today, some of them they might not even consider themselves as partners until they're actually living under the same roof. And I mean, that's kind of like, there might be a lot of fractured relationships. I don't know. I haven't been on the dating scene in a long time, so I don't know. But the thing is that it's not unusual. It's actually much more usual for a Cancer person who is looking for love, who is also looking for things that go along with it. With the number 3, I always think about having children and things like that. 1 + 1 = 3, right? But it can be for people that are not interested in that, or just past the age. Maybe you already have had a family. It could simply be that you're looking for somebody that you can really get along with, and almost like, not saying a business partner, but somebody who you work well with together, because you have certain you still have certain goals, even though you may be a more mature individual, and you want to be able to have that kind of camaraderie that if you were working together as co-workers, you would have that as well, but you want that within a relationship. And it's interesting as a higher message, because I wonder if Capricorn is a past relationship. This is the higher message, the Devil card. And this is, I got this for at least one other reading, maybe more, but this is about lust and not love. And I think for you it'd be more like the lure of materialism, of looking at the finances of somebody in order to decide whether or not they are a good match to you. And of course that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get along with the person. Sometimes people who have a lot of money, or it doesn't have to be like, millions of dollars, but somebody who is well off can be like really neurotic about money. And that's not somebody that you want to be with, because everything that you do, they will attach money to it. They will, there's something really, icky about that, when people are always talking about money. There's nothing wrong with money, but it's not everything. And the Devil card is about that ensnarement? That's a word, right? Enslavement to these pleasures of the flesh and the material side of life. And here is that devil, right? Coexisting right side with the high priestess. What strange bedfellows, right? So, if you are somebody, maybe you're kind of getting into the whole spiritual thing, Cancer, and this is kind of new territory for you, and yet it still is part of your old programming, the Devil card, and you still are like tempted to look at life in a certain way. Well, this is saying you need to kind of elevate, continue on your path of elevation, and don't allow yourself to continue to go down into this this kind of like, how would I put it, being very, very like deceived by these things that are not going to help you to get what you want, because what you're looking for is love. You don't want these other things kind of tempting you. What crosses you is represented by the Page of Cups connected to Pisces. So I don't know if you have an old flame that's a Pisces that, maybe that person that you keep going back to, and you're not moving forward in your life because you can't get them out of your system 100%. But excuse me, I honestly feel that with the Page of Cups, this is a card of sometimes gullibility in the challenge position, especially, and that tendency to, when you want something so badly, the tendency to believe what you want to hear, what you want to hear, because you want something, like you want to feel loved. And this is so true for Cancers, the desire to feel loved at a very deep level. But with Cancer, I think sometimes there can be that feeling that it's not enough, that whatever somebody does is not enough. And I'm not saying that all Cancers are going to be like that, but I think that the Cancers that didn't get it early on in life probably affected them quite deeply, And so if you were somebody that, can look back and know that has been a theme of your life, the best thing you can do is to continue on your spiritual path, like the High Priestess, and start to really learn how to heal from that by looking within and not trying to get it from a relationship. Because what the Page of Cups suggests is that you could be vulnerable to people who know exactly what you want. They know exactly what you're craving, and they will exploit that need. So you have to be careful that you're not willing to throw it all away for some kind of a brief feeling that somebody cares, and then find out that they are deceptive, And you may have already had patterns like this. So please, I love to see the High Priestess in the centerpiece of this reading. And you're a water sign, so you're naturally intuitive, and you have those natural inclinations towards being like a healer and somebody who can help others even. I mean, it could even be like a career aspiration. The advice is the Knight of Swords. This is a card of telling it like it is. I would say, especially with a situation involving a relationship that hasn't fully died. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I've got this reading and another reading that I've done, Cancer. I really get strong indication that there may be somebody who's still in your life. Even if you're trying to find new love, there's still something going on. And so I think that's why I'm just going to have one type of love reading a month, because it's just too much where it's not that black and white. Even if somebody says, I'm really looking for new love, they may be on and off with somebody, because the Knight of Swords can be the card of the lawyer. This could be you contacting a lawyer. Maybe you are divorced from somebody, but you still have some kind of connection, maybe through children, and you just want to get away from that, but it seems like that other person, maybe they tempt you with money, or they tempt you in some other ways, promising that they'll change. I could see the devil as a narcissist too. And the other thing about this is that your 7th house has been occupied with some very intense transits. Pluto, Saturn, South Node. So especially with the South Node, this could be like and this may be somebody that you married, where it's a karmic relationship playing itself out, and there's still something you have to do. Maybe with the Knight of Swords, you have to learn how to be very forceful in your language, so that other people know where you stand, so that you stop being kind of a weenie, and not like drawing a line in the sand, and kind of maybe hinting around rather than being direct. The Knight of Swords is very blunt, very direct, and perhaps you need more of that communication style at this time with an individual. I'm talking about if the devil represents a relationship with somebody who's a narcissist, who may be like an energy vampire, still keeping you in their life, even if you're not together anymore, then that person, you have to be, you can't get sucked up into their gaslighting, and because they may be trying, I have these 2 cards that are swords. Sometimes that can be playing those mental games. And so you have to, and I even got like as the outcome, this is another reason why I think of relationships, the 6 of Swords, leaving. You might even be physically relocating. You may find out that you have to do so in order to really start a new life. And with the High Priestess, it's really about discerning the truth from lies. The High Priestess, there might be things that you're not aware of, and somebody may be trying to, that's why I'm saying with the Page of Cups, you have to stop allowing yourself to believe other people's lies. And again, it could be because you desperately want it to be so, and yet it's not. The Three of Pentacles could be like a lover's triangle, something that you have been a part of in some way, and yet you may be trying to start over. You may be trying to find a new relationship, but you haven't really dealt with some of the things that you need to deal with. So I'm going to leave it there. I know I took a complete change of direction there, but that sometimes happens when you get to the last cards. That's what I have for you, Cancer. If you'd like a personal reading, please check me out at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.